Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for coming back. Welcome back to the Big B Daily Show, man. We are live on TikTok today. We are live on YouTube. What is going on, people? What is going on? Big sports weekend, big NFL weekend this week. I'm going to dive into a little bit. I don't know how many college football games I'm going to watch, but I'm probably going to dive into some college basketball this weekend. College basketball is going on. Good non-conference games this weekend. I'm going to dive in and we'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening. So either way, as we do always, TikTok. Thank you guys for showing up, man. We got 3,500 likes is the goal. We're already past it. Let's just put it up to 60. Let's go to $7,000. Let's just put it up to 7,000 today. We have a good show today. And we still need at least 30 new follows. So if you happen to be here and you're not following, give me a follow. Also, click that YouTube link in my bio, man, and come on over. Subscribe to YouTube, Big B Sports Talk on YouTube. Anybody that's on YouTube that's watching, please subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Let's get into this, people. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing that we need to talk about, Deion Sanders. Y'all know that I support what Deion is doing. Y'all knew that I said that if they won 6 games, I thought he could be coach of the year. Well, it turns out they couldn't get there. But I'm a supporter. But I bought blenders, okay? Now, y'all would think these were like $500-$600 sunglasses. They were $60. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to advertise for Deion or nothing, but y'all know I wear sunglasses every day. I put these sunglasses on, and I can't see nothing. I can't see the screen in front of me. I can barely see my phone. Now, I got my fingerprints on the lens a little bit. Don't mind that. I can't see nothing. I'm like, how am I supposed? I can't work like this. This is ridiculous. I feel like I was robbed. Come on, Deion. I guess I'm going to go get these. I got a black pair, so when those come in, we'll see how those work. I'm just like, what are we doing? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But let's get into this. So, Brandon Staley got fired, man. Brandon Staley got fired. I don't like seeing people get fired. I don't like people to lose their job, to lose their livelihood. Now, granted, I think he had a year left on his contract. He's been paid a lot of money, so the guy's not going broke tomorrow. But either way, it's a performance-based business. He had to go. He had to go. He should have never been brought back after that 27-0 debacle that they gave up in the playoffs last year. He should have never been brought back. But he was. Okay, so he was brought back, and he completely fell on his face. The team quit on him. I mean, let's just call it what it is. The Chargers quit on him last night. They quit on him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They quit on him. And when your team quits on you, you got to go. I mean, you got to go. Your message is no longer getting across. There's no reason for you to be there. You just simply have to go. That's what happened to Staley. So I feel bad that he lost his job, but in a results-based business, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and that's my thing. My man on YouTube, James Richards, thanks for coming in, James. What took so long for him to get fired? I don't know. My thing is, if you fire him maybe halfway during the season, do they have an opportunity to get back? Like, do they have an opportunity to maybe salvage the season, make the playoffs? I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. But he's out of there. He's out of there. My guess, they need to make a phone call to Jim Harbaugh. They probably will. They need to make a phone call to Eric Bieniemy. I don't know if they will. And they need to make a phone call to Ben Johnson. They better. Those are the three guys in that order that I think the Chargers should call. Not Bill Belichick. No, you guys are nuts talking to me. I mean, I keep hearing this Bill Belichick. No. No. No, 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 no. First of all, Belichick's an East Coast guy. He ain't going all the way out there to coach. But no, are you going to give Bill Belichick control of your team and let him start picking guys? How good has that worked the last 4 or 5 years? No. No. Dan Quinn going out there. Now, if the Cowboys go far enough in the playoffs, they don't fire McCarthy, Dan Quinn could be the head coach out there too. But I say Jim Harbaugh, Eric Bieniemy, Ben Johnson. That's what I say. Jim Harbaugh is not staying at Michigan. He's not dealing with what the NCAA is putting down. So he's not going to deal with that nonsense. He's leaving. And if he leaves, then might as well bring in, Harbaugh would love it. He's got his quarterback in place. They got receivers in place. He can strengthen the O-line, run the ball better. Harbaugh would be a perfect fit out there. Eric Bieniemy would be a perfect fit out there. Ben Johnson, we don't know about his coaching style as far as a head coach. And Bieniemy, we don't know either. But at least we have a little bit more insight to Bieniemy and what he brings to the table. He's been on a little bit more high-profile teams. I think it's a win-win. It's too bad that they basically had a lost season this year for no reason. They didn't have to have him back, but you chose to do it and you paid the price. And now you're starting over. They cleaned house. Okay, let's start over. Let's start over. Moving on, people. Moving on. So Cam Newton has had a lot to say here recently. He's been talking about game managers and who was a game manager. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Tua, all these guys that are out there making plays. He's saying they're game managers. Now, look, we can respect Cam Newton and respect him having his opinion, just like we should respect everybody having their own opinion. We respect it. Hell, it's America. We can have our own opinion if we want to. However, that doesn't always mean that your opinion is right. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't, just because you're allowed to have an opinion, doesn't mean that your opinion is correct. It can be wrong. It can be wrong. And to say that some of these guys are game managers, my definition, let me back up. My definition of what a game manager is this. A game manager would be Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer wasn't able to go out and make the plays that were required of him to go win. He wasn't capable of doing that. So he rode a defense and a team to victory. That's a game manager, in my opinion. Guys that are not actually capable of going out and making enough plays for you to win. That's my definition. A game manager is not what Tua is doing. It's not what Brock, and y'all know how much I've been beating up Brock Purdy, but it's not what Brock Purdy is doing. It's not what Jared Goff, what is he talking about? Just because you're not an elite athlete and you're not making all these plays with your legs doesn't mean, oh, well, that guy's a game manager. And they are 100%, because his definition was they're not asking you to lose the game. You don't think that they're asking Jared Goff to go win the game? Of course they are. You don't think they're asking Tua to go out there and win a game? Yes, they are. They're not asking Dak Prescott to go win. Who does he think is going to go win these games? He talked about, well, when I think of Dallas, I think of their defense. No, you don't. Stop it. You are asking Dak Prescott to go out and make enough plays so you can win. That's what you're asking Dak to do. Now, the difference is Brock Purdy, he is making the plays. Brock Purdy just happens to be playing around a bunch of superstars, a bunch of guys that can make plays. Okay. But now are we going to fault you for playing with guys that are good? It's ignorant. It's ignorant. Nobody says that Magic wasn't good because he played with Kareem. Nobody says that. Okay? Nobody says that Larry Bird wasn't good because he played with Parrish and McHale. Nobody says that. I just don't understand why nobody says Joe Montana wasn't good because he played with Jerry Rice. Steve Young wasn't good because he played with Jerry Rice. None of that makes sense to me. None of it. So you can't fault guys for playing with good. Now, you can point it out and say, yes, they played with good players, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to say, well, they're a game manager or they're not any good, that's crazy. Cam, in the last 4 years of his career, couldn't even manage a game. Christopher Polanco, boom, over on YouTube, boom. Now, Cam had his rebuttal because, people were getting on his head, and he had his rebuttal, and he said that he wasn't talking about this, and then he tried to flip the narrative and say, I'm a guy that actually played the position, so I can speak on it. Well, nobody said you couldn't speak on it, Cam. Nobody said that you weren't great at one time. You didn't have great seasons in the NFL, that you didn't have great ability. Nobody said that. But just because you had great ability and just because you are allowed to speak on it does not make you right. Doesn't make you right. So that's all that's all I'm saying. That's my point. It seems like athletes over the last 5 years have gotten sensitive and can think that the only people that can talk, because he kept bringing that up, well, people that never played. And I'm like, well, just because you don't play and you didn't have the ability to play in the NFL, that means you don't know football? Or you can't have an opinion? It's weak. That's a weak mind. And then he's, of course, I can do what you do. Well, that doesn't mean you can do it as well. Just because you have a platform doesn't mean you can do it as well, Cam Newton, as somebody that's trained to do it. As far as a media space, doesn't mean you have that ability. It's just crazy to me. And it's not just him. It's not just Cam Newton. So I want you to think I'm just bashing on Cam. Cam just happens to be the latest guy to say something and thinks that because he played, his opinion should matter more than everybody else's. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. And not to mention, he's wrong. He would be wrong. But it is what it is. What do we got over here? Let's move on. Big NFL weekend this weekend, people. Big NFL weekend this weekend. There's some good games. There's some bad games, but there's some good games. Let's talk about them. Last night, obviously, we saw that, and that was just a debacle. And y'all follow them along. Let me know. We're going to pick every game. We're going to, just like we do every Friday, we're going to pick every game. Y'all let me know who you think is going to win based on the matchup. First one, Steelers at the Colts. My Steelers got to have this. They got to have it. And Mike Tomlin, whose team always played down to their competition, back is against the wall. They usually come out swinging. I'm taking the Steelers. I'm always going to take the Steelers anyway, but I'm taking the Steelers. And we'll get to your game, by the way. We will get to your game. We're picking every single game. So, Vikings against the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals. The Vikings are making another change at quarterback. They scored 3 points last week. Jake Browning somehow is playing lights out football. Give me Jake Browning. Give me the Bengals. Broncos at Lions. Huge game. The Lions were just the fraud of the week last week, by the way, the Lions. And yes, they were the fraud of the week last week. Are they going to bounce back against the Broncos? Broncos need this one. If they're going to stay in playoff contention, they got to win this game. It's on the road against the Lions. I don't know. I see a lot of people saying Broncos. I don't know. I like the Lions. I think I'm going to take the Lions to bounce back. It's going to be a good game, though. It's going to be a good game, and that's what we want. We want good games. Chiefs at the Patriots. If the Chiefs are going to get back, this has got to be a get-back game for the Chiefs. Although, quiet as kept, the Patriots' defense is really good. The Patriots got a good defense. So it's going to be hard, but I think the Chiefs win because their defense is also good. But give me the Chiefs over the Patriots. Then another good game, Bears at Browns. And at first glance, you would think, it's not going to be a good game. Bears are playing better football, but so is the Browns. The Browns are playing good. Give me the Browns and Joe Flacco. Joe freaking Flacco is playing good football, people. He is playing good football, believe it or not. TikTok, Joe Flacco is playing good football. He is playing good football, YouTube. Unbelievable. Buccaneers at Packers, another big game. Both of them got to have it if they're trying to make the playoffs. Give me the Packers. Give me the Packers. I like the Packers in this one. It's going to be close. The Bucs are playing well. I want to say the Bucs, but I'm going to say the Packers. I'm going to say and I would tell you if I was betting the spread, it's plus 3.5. That's a good point, my man James Riley. I would take the Bucs if I'm betting the spread. Give me the 3.5, but I'm not doing that. I'm taking money line all day. Give me the Packers. Texans at Titans. Give me the Titans on this one. No CJ Stroud. They're beat up. The Texans are beat up. I think they're finished. I think their season is finished. Give me the Titans. And their Titans are at home. Give me the Titans. Jets at Dolphins. Cheetah may not play, although I think he probably will. They're saying game time decision. I think he's going to play. Game will be closer than what you think. If Cheetah ain't out there, the Dolphins can't move the football at all. So I think he's at least got to be out there. Give me the Dolphins. Giants and Saints, both teams stink. The Saints act like they don't want to make the playoffs. They keep trotting out Derek Carr. You know how bad they must think of Jameis Winston? They must think Jameis Winston is the worst quarterback in the world because Derek Carr is awful. Let me repeat that. Derek Carr is awful. He has played awful. He's beat up. And yet, they are still trotting him out there over Jameis Winston. But I'm going to say the Saints at home. The Giants won 3 in a row. If the Giants keep winning, 3 weeks ago, we thought the Giants were in the running for the number 1 pick. Now, all of a sudden, they're on the outskirts of being in the playoff picture. Whew, who would have thought? But give me the Saints. I'm going to go with the Saints. And I kind of hope the Giants win and I get proven wrong, to be honest with you. I kind of think I get proven wrong. So, next up, the Falcons and the Panthers. Look, the Falcons are so bad at quarterback. If they just had decent quarterback play, they'd be leading their division by 2 or 3 games right now. But their quarterback play is so bad, but I don't see them losing this game. The Panthers are worse. So I think the Falcons go on the road and win. It'll be close, but give me the Falcons. Give me the Falcons. Commanders at Rams. The Rams are playing good football right now. The Rams are playing really good football right now. So give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. I think the Commanders have quit. The Commanders have quit. The game's in LA. The Commanders have quit. Heck, who knows? Eric Bieniemy might be out there interviewing for the Chargers job. You know what I'm saying? He might already be interviewing for a new job. So, but the Rams, I think they're going to win that. The Rams are playing good football right now. Playing good football. 49ers at Cardinals. I think the 49ers whip them. They'll whip them early, too. I think they smack them around. Big game. Cowboys at Bills. Cowboys at Bills. Whoo! I think the Cowboys win it. Again, y'all know that I'm the vice president of the Cowboys Hater Club. I just think this is the Cowboys' year. Finally, it is their year. And I think the Cowboys win this football game. I think they go to Buffalo. It'll be a struggle. But I think they go there and win. I do. It's the Cowboys' year. It's their year. Now, I say that it's their year because if the Cowboys go and lose in the first round of the playoffs, you know who's going to be at the Star going live, by the way, from the Star. That'll be your boy Big B. I don't care when the game is. I don't care when the game ends. I live 10 minutes from the Star. I will be driving to the Star, going live on TikTok, making fun of the Cowboys if they lose. If they lose in the first round of the playoffs, sprint to TikTok because you know your boy is going to be at the Star clowning the Cowboys. But I think it might be their year, man. I think it might be their year. Cowboys over the Bills on Sunday. Ravens at Jags. Jags got to have this one. They're losing their ground as far as the division. Two teams are right behind them, the Colts and the Texans. Jags got to have it. They ain't going to get it. I think the Ravens go there and beat them. I think the Jags are kind of what we thought they were. I know a lot of people thought they were going to win 13, 14 games this year. No, not going to happen. They still have missing pieces. They're still an up-and-coming team, but they are not there yet. I think the Ravens go on the road and win. Monday night, Eagles and Seahawks. Whew. The Eagles have been beat up the last 2 weeks. They've been literally physically whipped the last 2 weeks. The Seahawks are out of the playoffs as of now. 3 weeks ago, the Seahawks were leading their division. They were literally leading their division. And here we are 3 weeks later. They're not even in the playoff picture right now. They're on the outside looking in. And be honest with you, I think Philly needs the game more. But Philly's secondary is whipped. If Geno comes back, Geno was playing well before he got hurt and played well against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. If we get that Geno, they'll beat the Eagles. And I'm going to say I'm going to Seahawks. I'm flipping it. I'm saying the Seahawks win. I think we get that Geno. I think we get that killer Geno. And they're going to the Eagles and they're winning the game. Or they're bringing the Eagles in. The Eagles are coming to town and they're going to smack the Eagles around. The Eagles might be done. The Eagles just might be done. You get physically whipped 2 weeks in a row, they just might be finished. So who knows, people? Who knows? It's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. But we'll see. Good weekend, man. Good weekend of pro football. No more buys. Going to be a good weekend. I'm ready for it. So, my man Captain Mars is Seahawks. He's saying the Seahawks are going to win. He's a Geno guy. He's behind Geno. So, we'll see. All right. Well, let's move on, man. Let's get to the Q&A section here. What are y'all thinking? First question out of the books over here on TikTok. Steelers ending record. What do I think? Oh, if I'm being honest and I'm leaving my heart out of this, I think the Steelers could lose out. I think the Steelers could lose the last 4 games of the year. That's my honest opinion. They could lose the last 4 games of the year. I'll be hurt, I'll be upset, and they could finish 7-10. However, Mike Tomlin, you know how he does when his back's against the wall. They could win the next 4 games. So, I don't know. I mean, somehow I think they probably win at least 2 of the next 4, but we'll see. We'll see. And that's the whole thing. The best game of the weekend, I think, is going to be the Bills and Cowboys. That's the best game that I think that we have this weekend. So that's the best game. I think the Bills and the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to win. I just think the Cowboys are going to win. The Bills' back end is bad. The Cowboys have been moving the football through the air on everybody over the last 2 months. I think they smack them around. So the hardest game to pick, the Lions and Broncos, maybe. Lions and Broncos, Bills, Cowboys. Yeah, it might be. Does Joe Flacco make us a contender, which you're a Browns fan? Yeah, he does. As of right now, yeah. I mean, he was on the couch 3 weeks ago. Well, a month ago. And the man has come back playing lights out football. Good for him. Play as long as you can, man. Play as long as you can. And he's playing well. And the defense it's been a little spotty the last couple of weeks, but I think they get it back. So I think Joe Flacco is better than the backup quarterbacks that they have. I think that. So, but you get a little tape on Flacco. You see how he is. He doesn't move around. We'll see what happens. They may bring some crazy blitzes, but I think they'll be okay. They can still run the football too. Yeah, Flacco's playing good football. That's the main thing. Joe Flacco is playing good football. So, my man Captain Mars on YouTube said, could the Eagles secondary play bad against those Seahawks wide receivers? That was mad at my 49ers, so they might come into that game pissed off, those Seahawks possibly. Now, we got to clean up the English there, but I'm guessing you're saying that could the Eagles secondary play bad against them? Yeah, they can. So we'll see. We'll see. The Eagles secondary is not any good. That's the problem with the Eagles secondary. It's just not good. So the wide receivers for the Seahawks can have a field day. They can have a field day. So we'll see. My man Keegan says, do you think OBJ will win comeback player of the year if Joe Flacco doesn't win it? Joe Flacco won't play enough games to qualify, so he's not going to win it. But OBJ could. OBJ could. He's starting to get it together. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do the Bears keep Fields or draft a QB? Last month of the season is going to tell us a lot about what the Bears should do. That's a great question, by the way. I think they got to trade him. I think if the Bears are serious, start over, draft a quarterback, draft a lineman, or if you like Fields, keep him, but you got to do something. I mean, those 2 picks, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and then draft another lineman. I think you trade Fields, you get more capital, and you start over. You can still get you a quarterback. You can still get Marvin Harrison if you want him. You can still get a lineman if you want him. That's what I think I would do. I'd trade Fields. I'd trade him and get you more picks because regardless, whether you keep Fields or you trade him, they're not just one player away from being good. I mean, and they do have a ton of cap money too. So, but that's just me. That's just me. James Richards thinks Fields going to be very scary with Atlanta. If Fields was on Atlanta this year, Atlanta would be 3 games ahead of the competition in their division. They just don't have a quarterback that's competent. My goodness. Their head coach is pretty bad too. He's pretty bad. He's pretty bad. So, trade Herbert to the Bears. That never going to happen, brother. That's never going to happen. Not trading Herbert to the Bears. Whew. So that's not going to happen. Got to get my little graphic back on TikTok. It's jumping all over the place on me. Steelers over Colts. Yes. Take the Steelers. Got to have my Steelers. We got to win one. So, do you think that Cheetah breaks 2,000 yards? Nah, I don't think that Cheetah's going to break it now. He's hurt. The last game hurt him. So I don't think that Tyreek Hill gets to 2,000 now. If he's really hurt. Now, if he's not, and he comes back and he's just taking the week off to rest, that'll be a different conversation. But if he's actually really hurt, then no, he's not going to get there. He's not going to get there. And he didn't practice all week. So we'll see about the game. We will see about the game. College football playoff gets 4 weeks to prep for a playoff game, 1 week to prep for the championship. NFL gets 1 week to prep for playoffs and 2 weeks for the Super Bowl. Steve, Richie, I have been saying that for 25, 30. It makes absolutely no sense. No sense. Other than the bowl system was in play and they had all those New Year's games. But my whole thing is, couldn't you move the college football season back? You didn't have to start it at Labor Day weekend, do you? But they give them a month to prepare. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. And you're right. They give them 10 days for the championship game, where they get a month for the semifinal game. I'm like, what? It's just stupid. It's stupid. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Hey, man, I want to thank all you guys, by the way. Anybody that's following that wasn't following before on TikTok, anybody that wasn't subscribed on YouTube that is now subscribed to Big B Sports Talk, I appreciate it. And if you're not, please give me a follow on TikTok. Please subscribe over on YouTube. We appreciate it, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. And anybody that's also sent over any super chats, get your question answered quickly, thrown up on the screen. We appreciate it. And any gifts that you sent over on TikTok, we appreciate those as well. We appreciate all of it, man. The Bears will stay the Poverty Bears if coaching and management doesn't change regardless of picks. You are 1,000% correct. And thank you for the gifts, man. Thank you. You are 1,000% correct about the Bears. I've been saying that the last couple of years. It's everything. And it starts at the top. The management is horrible with the Bears. Horrible. They won't get any better until they have somebody else running the football franchise. How that happens, I don't know. And the same family has been in charge. I don't see them selling the team anytime soon. So if they're not going to sell the team and they're still in charge, they meddle. They don't let football people make the decisions, and it's horrible. I mean, how many times are they going to hire a coach before you hire a GM? Who does that? Nobody does that. They're either a package deal or you hire the GM and let him hire the coach. Because then you can't hold the GM accountable if the coach isn't doing the right thing. If the coach stinks, hey, man, don't hold me accountable. I didn't hire him. You did. So Fields isn't going nowhere? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I do think Fields could be effective if they had more weapons. I do believe that. But we'll see. Thanks for the gifts, man. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. My name on YouTube is Big B Sports Talk, man. Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube. You can just go to my bio and click on the YouTube link. Go to my bio, click on the YouTube link, and boom, you are there. What's wrong with the Chicago now? Their offense? They don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough weapons. That's their problem. And the offensive line is okay, but not great. They can upgrade. They can upgrade. So they can absolutely upgrade. That's my thinking. That is my thinking. What do we got over here? Boo-doop, boo-doop. Boo-doop, boo-doop. Is the NFC matched up with the AFC or above or below it? The NFC is below the AFC. Not as definitive as the beginning of the year, but yeah, the AFC is better than the NFC right now. In my opinion. In my opinion. That the AFC is better than the NFC. So that's just my opinion right now. You like Notre Dame in the background. Hey, if y'all aren't paying attention, and they're not playing spectacular at the moment, but the guy I grew up with, one of my friends, I'm not going to say he's a close friend of mine. I'm not that guy, but I grew up with him. I mean, we were good friends until the 7th grade, till he moved. Micah Shrewsbury is the head coach of the boys basketball team, the men's basketball team. That's why I have that Notre Dame in the background. If one of your boys that you grew up with is a head coach at a Division I program, because I'm not even a Notre Dame fan. I am not a Notre Dame fan. But a guy that you grew up with, he's a head coach at a Division I program, you get a banner and you put it on your wall in your room. That's my thing. So, my man, Micah Shrewsbury, they're not going to be great this year. But next year, Notre Dame's going to be very good. Very good. I'm just telling you, watch out. Watch out. Has anybody gotten into college basketball yet? Tomorrow I'm going to take a deep dive in. But has anybody got into college basketball yet? I haven't. Unfortunately, one of my favorite teams is University of Louisville. I thought they were going to fire their coach today. They did not. It is a dumpster fire in Louisville. And hopefully they get something done over the weekend. We got to get Kenny Payne out of there. Got to get him out of there. He's terrible. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wanted him to succeed. I was one of the people pushing for him to be hired when he got the job. I thought it was great. He can't coach basketball. He cannot coach college basketball. Oh my goodness. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. But I also am a K-State fan, and I love what K-State is doing. Unfortunately, their president seems to be wanting to run the coach out of there, and he might end up being the coach at Louisville next year. Who knows? Who knows, people? Dak for MVP. Maybe. I like Dak as the MVP. I like Tyreek. I like Dak and Purdy. In that order. So, who's worse than Tomlin? Kenny Payne? Kenny Payne's worse than any coach. I'll just say Kenny Payne's bad. That's all I'm going to say. Kenny Payne is bad, bad, bad. So, yeah, the NFC is not as good as the AFC. The NFC is not as good as the AFC, bro. It's not even close. I don't know why I know this is a topic over on TikTok and somebody's arguing that. I don't know why. The NFC has the best team, possibly even the best two teams. Not possibly. They do. The 49ers and the Cowboys. After that, then what? They have the Eagles, who are struggling. And then who? There you go. That's it. The NFC is better this year. Bro, you're not watching enough football if that's what you think. If you think the NFC with two good teams, we'll say three, is better than the AFC, you're not watching enough football. You're not paying attention. Or you don't understand what you're watching. But I mean, it's plain as day. So, what does that have to do with being better than the Steelers? So that right there lets me know that you have no idea what you're talking about, but it is what it is. So, I don't know if you can get. Detroit keeps getting beat by teams like the Bears. So they get beat by teams like the Bears. I don't know that I'm throwing Detroit in anything yet. In anything yet. We'll see. We'll see after this weekend about Detroit. I'm not putting them in the same category. No matter of fact, I know I'm not putting them in the same category, even close to the 49ers or the Cowboys or the Eagles. Not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. So, yeah, the Lions haven't earned that respect yet. Not yet. They're getting close, but they haven't earned that yet. And somebody just said the AFC just has the Ravens and the Chiefs. I don't know why I'm responding to him. He's not watching enough football. You got to watch a little bit more, man. Got to watch a little bit more. That's all. Ravens and 49ers on Christmas Day is going to be an outstanding game. An outstanding game. But I think the 49ers beat them. But I would love to watch that football game. It's going to be a good football game. So, going to be good. Going to be good. Trevor Lawrence was overrated. Yeah. I think the Jags in general were overrated. I think a lot of us thought the Jags after last year, we thought they were going to win 12, 13. Some people even had them as high as 14 wins. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're a little overrated, man. They're a little overrated. You're right. So, they're a little overrated. Let's see. The Ravens over the 49ers. I don't know. The Jags are not one of the best teams in the AFC. Gee, mini Christmas. Okay. At some point, you just got to ignore somebody, and I think that's what I will do. Dak isn't a game manager. No, he's not. Dak is not a game manager. Dak is not a game manager. Not at all. Cam Newton is wrong. Like I said, like we talked about earlier, we respect Cam's opinion. We respect his opinion, but that doesn't mean that his opinion is right. It doesn't mean that his opinion is right. So, Ravens over 49ers in the Super Bowl. Whew. I don't know about that. I want to see the Ravens do something in the playoffs. I am not going to consider we already know what the Ravens are in the regular season. They're always good. They're always good in the regular season. You got to do it in the playoffs. So, here's a good point. My man, Captain Mars over on YouTube. He said that Trevor Lawrence, most Jag fans thought he was going to be an MVP conversation, but just he's never gotten to the conversation. Never had a big 300-yard passing game versus a great defense. Yeah, they just never had a great anything this year. They just didn't. Ravens might not even make the Super Bowl, but I hope they do better in the playoffs. Exactly. I got to see the Ravens in the playoffs. Until I do, yeah, we got to figure it out. They got to figure it out in the playoffs. So, Until I see them be better, and it's Lamar, we can say it. Lamar has to be better. We can say it. We don't have to hide. Lamar Jackson has to be better in the playoffs. That's just period, point blank. And I'm a Lamar fan. Even though I'm a Steelers fan, y'all heard me earlier say I love the University of Louisville. I've been a Lamar fan for a long time, except when he plays the Steelers. He got to be better in the playoffs, man. Period. Period. So, will the Texans make the playoffs? Nope. Nope. Texans aren't going to make the playoffs. I like the Texans. I like what they did. They got the coach of the year. They got the rookie of the year, but they're finished. First of all, Stroud's not going to play this week. So, yeah, they're finished. They're finished. What guy was ready to marry C.J. Stroud earlier this season? Because it sure wasn't me. When everybody said he was the MVP, it wasn't me. And I'm not even a Texans fan, so love me some DeMeco Ryans, dude. In 3 years, the Texans are going to be one of the best teams in the league. If management doesn't get in the way and screw it up, they will be one of the best teams in the league. So, no, I wasn't banging the CJ drum on here. If you're going to come in here and stop lying or start lying, that's the easiest way out of here, brother. And everybody knows I wasn't never banging any drum for CJ Stroud being anything. So if you're going to come in here and lie, just be prepared to be out. Because we just don't lie. We keep it real. Do-do, 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 do-do. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we got to make some. The Dolphins are overrated. Oh, my God. The Dolphins couldn't be more overrated. The Dolphins couldn't be more overrated. Rico, I am good, man. What is going on, brother? I got you. You feeling better? I got you. Yeah. I had to shut my show down early yesterday. I don't know what happened. I started sweating real bad. I was like, I just got to call it quits. So I'm with you, bro. Whatever's going around sucks. I come on. I do a live stream from we started at 4 Central. So we do about an hour every Monday through Friday. Are you on here only? No, here and YouTube. Yeah, we're moving. I get back on YouTube after January 28th. Yeah, I heard about that nonsense, bro. What was up with that? So they sent me a letter. They sent me a note, and they said, "Hey, you're stealing content from a TikTok user." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Who?" And they're like, "Rico knows." I said, "That's cool." Because that's so ridiculous. Right. They said, "Hey, you have 3 days to appeal, to apply, and all this stuff." So I was like, "Cool." So I made a video, a 5-minute long video explaining who I am, and I was like, "I have my permission to post my own videos." I'd love to know who's complaining that I'm using my own videos on YouTube. That's crazy, man. I sent in the thing. I was very sarcastic and I was very pompous about it because I thought it was dumb. And then out of nowhere, they went and they sent me another letter and it just said, "You did not suffice our requirements. We'll be holding all your revenue." Oh, wow. This is my primary revenue. It's an insane amount of money. I couldn't believe it. This is October at the peak of the college football season. Right. I scrambled, and thank goodness I was able to get on Patreon, and I had about 6 days to transition from
YouTube premium memberships to Patreon.
Right.
And I was able to do it. And I had such a good following of people that were able to move with me, and they didn't mind. They were willing to pay twice and stuff like that.
Nice.
But I did lose about 600 MVPs.
Jesus.
And 600 people at $25 a month.
Jeez.
Significant amount of money. And I did not get paid from Patreon, even though I had 6 days to get it done, until this last month. I got paid on the 5th here in December. What a beautiful feeling.
Gee, many Christmas.
To come through.
Right.
But I went 2 months in the peak of this whole thing for free.
I gotcha.
And then my YouTube, I shot up to 18,000 subscribers in the last, 5 or 6 months.
Yep.
And just leveled off completely. I stopped posting. I don't even care. I am doing my Transfer Portal podcast on there.
Okay.
So I'm doing all Transfer Portal podcasts on YouTube. I'm live streaming them on there. I'm doing it by position group. I can't talk about all the different teams.
Right.
It's 133 teams. So I'm just going each episode a different position group. So last night was running backs.
Right.
I talked about all the running backs in the portal. And I think on Sunday I'm going to do all the wide receivers. And I'm just going to keep moving like that. Wide receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary. And then once I do all the position groups, I start over again.
Gotcha.
And we rehash quarterbacks. And then we'll find all the newest ones that are in, where everybody committed. And then once people commit, that's when I kind of give my assessment of how they're going to do at their new school.
Right.
So a lot of people want me to get in the business of predicting where these kids are going to go. It's a lot of wasted energy.
Yeah.
I try to guess where they're going to end up. I just do an assessment of where they're going. Like after they commit, I assess it.
Right.
There's 3 running backs right now committed to South Carolina out of the portal. I think it's insane. I look at these 3 guys and I'm just like, what? Well, did you not see how they used their running backs this season? They didn't use them all that well.
No.
Why are you doing this? Shane Beamer's not using running backs well.
No.
Getting more and more. And maybe they're paying him, I don't know, but you'd be pretty shocked, man. This offseason's a lot different from last offseason for me.
Is it?
Yeah. So last year, I was just chilling in my house, minding my own business, living a normal life, talking about relationships and anything. And then one day, I made a video and I started talking about Coach Brien.
Right.
And that's when everything kind of took off and I started talking sports. And by February, I had changed my name to Rico Knows and all this other stuff. But in this time frame, right here, right now, I was not a sports guy on TikTok. So the difference now is there are so many players reaching out to me and saying, Rico, can you please help me, advise me? What am I going to do? I want to jump into the portal. Can I go here? Can I go there? And I'm actually finding myself to be a consultant to the players in the transfer portal.
That is awesome, man.
It's different because I'm reaching out to coaching staffs. I was talking to some, and some of them are like, who the hell are you? The only one we talk on Twitter, and on Twitter I got like 200 followers.
Right.
So they're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy who claims he is? And I'm like, just listen to me, man. If you give me a chance, you go over here. And it's funny, but I'm really trying to help these kids, and I didn't see some of them were dying in my inbox. I actually have one. I'm going to pull this up so you can see. I don't know if I can flip my camera for you. Let me see if I can do that. Like, here's a kid. He's letting me know he's Division II, defense tackle, has
right.
15 FCS offers, right? He's asking for help. There's a kid up here thinking about transferring. This is a starting player at New Mexico State. He's been there for 2 or 3 years, right? He's asking for help. I don't want to give away everybody's identity because a lot of
sure. No.
It's pretty cool to get like an all-conference guy from the Sun Belt.
Heck yeah, it is.
And he's like, hey, Mr. Rico, I would like to know what Power 5 programs you think I could contribute to. So I'm like, man, this is incredible. Like, okay, so some guys are offering me money to help assess. One guy says, hey, I'm a handler for somebody. I need you to assess this, that, or the other. And I just thought, all right, how much is he going to pay me?
Right.
So he paid me so much.
Whew.
To my spreadsheet, I'm going to pull it up here. And I had to, like, make a chart and let him know what I think. And it's like, I listed all the different schools I think he could contribute at. And then I wrote the running back depth chart. I'll be filling it in. The head coach, offensive coordinator, running back coach. Who we need to reach out to. and then comments whether or not they're interested. Like this right here, if I said it won't talk unless you're in the portal,
Right.
I reached out to the coaching staff, and the coaching staff said, "Hey, Rico, once the guy enters the portal, then we'll talk to him." Because I've had some coaching staffs act that way.
Nice.
But yeah, going through and trying to fill out this chart for all the different schools I think he can get to, and man, these kids, unfortunately, they're just getting bad advisement.
Yeah. A lot of kids get a bunch of bad advice with this transfer portal stuff, man. It's insane. It's insane.
They got uncles, right?
Yes.
They got uncles who are like, yo, go get the bag. You get paid. The uncle sees an Escalade.
Yep.
Sees an F-150. What are you doing, bro? He's like, I know we can at least get a truck out of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why? Why do you think that? Like, and it's frustrating because, well, he's been starting 2 years at this school, and I know he can get paid. And I'm like, well, just let him keep playing.
It's like Kyle McCord. What's he doing? What is he doing?
I believe his father is a very negative influence.
He is, yes. I've heard that.
He's going to Syracuse this weekend. I would tell you that Kyle McCord is probably better than Carlos Del Rio Wilson, which is one of the quarterbacks at Syracuse. They got a kid named Davies, transferred from South Carolina, but I don't know, man. I think he should end up at Rutgers.
Yeah.
Watch. Rutgers.
And I heard all that talk about him going to Nebraska, but I don't think that's going to materialize.
No, it's not. It's definitely off the table. So Rule took it off the table. Matt Rule just said, hey, we don't want to deal with his father. I'm more interested in Raiola anyways.
Exactly.
Matt Rule did his thing. Now, if they miss on Raiola, I don't know what they do.
Still got Will Howard out there.
USC's going to sign him.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
What?
I don't know why.
He's
But
not that special to me.
and he's not an LA guy. He's not an LA type of person. And I think it takes a certain personality to play in Los Angeles.
He's a Midwest guy.
Yeah. Yeah.